Oh shit, here we go again.
Low, low, man. Low, low, man.
You like contracts, right? You're a contract guy.
I read contracts instead of conventional pornography, yes.
And they're still fucking nerds.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Andrew Esquire, and this is the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Coming at you today, starting a little early. I know it's crazy, right? I know you guys thought there'd be some scuff. Maybe I'd be late. Of course, I'm not actually early. In my mind, I'm late because this should have happened yesterday. I will say, I do deeply apologize, guys, because my voice has been killing me. So I decided to take a little break. And when I woke up this morning, I was still not 100%. And even now, I'm not completely 100%, but I'm good enough to stream. So I need to, pony up and get it done. But, of course, if I'm ever not feeling it, I just say, okay, I'll rest up and get it done later. As you get, I've been a little bit sick. I think everybody's got a little bit of a cough around here. And then we mix that in with the air quality issues that have been going around here. So you get a little bit of the sniffles, and then get the air quality not so good here in Bangkok. So I think you mix those factors, some sort of special blend of herbs and spices, and that was what delayed me. But I'm back, and we're here to talk about Destiny. So it's good to see all you guys in the chat. Appreciate you. Thank you for your patience and your support. Appreciate all of you today. Yeah, like I said, should have been yesterday, but we're here today. So let's go. And I'm going to have a Somali stream coming up because I've got one older topic I need to talk about him, and then some stuff from nuisance streamers in Japan, and they've been getting kind of out of control there. So we've got some stuff to talk about on that on probably tomorrow. Honestly, that one will be tomorrow for sure, the 28th on my clock. Maybe sooner for y'all. Might be evening of the 27th. We'll see whether I do it in the morning or the evening. But good to see everybody in the house today, and appreciate those that joined. Deep Fried Crocodile, welcome as a new member. I also believe King Lugia became a new member as well. So appreciate you becoming members of the RPG. And then Einahander, member for 11 months. This early mindset. Who is this imposter? I know. I mean, what can I say?
Excuse me, sir. What is your ethnicity? I am interested in calling you a slur.
It's good to see you guys in the chat, and appreciate all of you guys out there who've stuck with me on many topics, whether I'm covering VTubing, which actually there's a lot to cover in the VTubing sphere. I may have to put one together on that, but I try to make it legal, and it seems like there may be some legal questions. I think some people were asking questions about VShojo, and there were some other things kind of floating around the VTuber sphere. So we might have a VTubing stream that I spin up in a day or two or three, this week at some point. So we might have something in the VTubing sphere. Obviously, Somali coverage, anything big if it comes out about Disney, any entertaining stories. Also saw a really good compilation clip of Nick Rekieta and his downfall by Third World Aristocrat. I may play that on my member stream because we've got to do that in the next couple days before the end of January, because that's on the docket as well. We got actual lawyers covering this. Yes. It's been a while. And actually a Florida lawyer, because the thing about Destiny, which made me interested in this primarily, is not that I really particularly hate Destiny. I really don't care one way or for another about Destiny. I don't listen to him. I don't watch him. Generally, when I've seen his debates, just his style of debate is very grating to me. So it's kind of annoying. So I just don't watch it. I don't consume it, which means it doesn't really bother me because I just don't watch it. If Destiny's on it, I generally don't watch. And what that means is I'm not really predisposed one way or another before this, for or against his criminal conviction. I know there's a lot of people that hate him. There's people that love him. Really, I'm dispassionate about it, which kind of makes me the perfect person, in addition to being a Florida lawyer. And this is going to go down in Florida. So this is going to be something that will be brought in Florida. I believe the charges will be in federal court, but probably will be venued in a Florida federal court. So in the district court, federal district court in Florida, I would imagine. So because there's laws that are federal that are violated and also some state laws. And I'm going to go over some of the state laws in Florida, particularly that would be violated. And once again, if you bring a federal claim, you can bring state charges as well. So you can bring your federal claim and then you can bring your state charges. So I'm going to focus on some of those, particularly as a Florida lawyer, some of the ones that are interesting, we'll say, and go through those statutes. I think that's going to be fun. I think it's going to be fun. 2 streams and no scuff. I'm buying a lottery ticket. Hold on. I've got a clip for that. Hold on. Where is it? Here we go.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Yeah, there you go. Why not? Welcome as a new member. Felzu, member for 14 months. As George McFly famously said, you are my density. You are my density. What the fuck? Glad to see you, Andrew. BLM stream soon? Yes, soon. It's going to be multi-topic because there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about. I just want to kind of have fun with you guys on that one. So it's going to be a fun topic, multi-topic, talking about a lot of stuff that it's just kind of schizo review on that, which I don't like to do for my non-member streams, but I love to do for my member streams because we can just talk about everything and anything. If you guys want to send me off on a tangent, we can go down there. We can start talking about the crab people if you want, whatever you want to do on those member streams. They're for you guys. And that's why I love those, because they go where the members want them to go. Wherever you want to talk about, we talk about. It's not about me. It's about you. Baked Buddhist, welcome as a member, and thank you for the 10 legal mindset memberships. Very based Baked Buddhist, appreciate that. There are a lot of based Buddhists here in Thailand, baked Buddhists here in Thailand. I can confirm that. After making a stop by. Had some friends that were in town, and they made a stop by the, what was it called, the High Society club, and it's not the type of high that you would think in another jurisdiction, but things are quite legal here. So that's a lovely thing about the Kingdom of Thailand, which I think a lot of jurisdictions should take that approach of just slapping a VAT on it, and hey, you're just making money now. Let's just all make money, and businesses making money, and commercial real estate is doing fine because people bought up in that sector. So it ended up working out great. Krypton0045 for 50 Philippine pesos says, I heard pineapple pizza last stream, best pizza. You're banned from the chat. You're going to be timed out right now. Danielle, PG, get on that. JP, get on that time out this motherfucker. Anybody who dares impurify pizza with the heresy of pineapple shall be condemned to the eye of terror with all other apostates, all other traitors to the empire of the mindset and the purity of pizza. Digitally, says, my exercise done, my VPN on, my favorite lawyer streaming. Oh yeah, it's a good day. Nice, congrats. Yeah, I need to get my exercise done today. I was chilling like a villain today, just resting, pure resting. I watched a little bit of Parasite, which I hadn't watched in a while, but I saw it pop up, and I said, oh, let me check that out. And I forgot it's a really good anime. I actually like that one. JP Ravenfire for 5 legal mindset memberships. Very based of you. Thank you so much, JP, and all those supporters. Yes. Also, thank you for being a mod. Appreciate my mods out there. Danielle, PG, JP. Thank you guys. Bad News Badger says, just smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave. Hagfish WS says, legal mindset. I love strawberry pizza. Now there's degeneracy. And there's absolute, complete depravity for which you should be deported forthwith to Colombia. Not even Colombia. We're gonna Colombia. Colombia's too nice for you. We gotta send you somewhere else. Kyrgyzstan. We're gonna send you to Kyrgyzstan. Billy Aoki said, "I'll do you one better. Mayo on pizza." With the mayo. I don't mind the pommes frites, the one to do the mayo. Okay, fine, right? I can understand that, but Pizza? Really? Really? Ren Cruz says Rayora Panthera likes fries on pizza, though. Well, I mean, I just have one thing to say and one thing alone.
Degenerates. You guys degenerates.
Go. All right. Let's start this out before we get into the pizza stream, because if I let this go, we're gonna end up talking about fucking pizza for the next 30 minutes of the stream. And my poor clipper, Eagle the Clipper, who just finished clipping my Ricada stream. I'm gonna have an abbreviated version of that out probably later tonight, my time. So the next couple hours, 3-4 hours, there'll be an abbreviated version of the Ricada stream in case you missed it, which is quite good. I think it was a good summary. So that'll be out, and big shout out to that. But it's already hard enough a job for poor Eagle. So don't make his job too hard. Thomas Santos says, "Oh snap, we're finally getting the Destiny arc. Let's go. This should be interesting. I like his debates, but the situation sounds very serious." Okay, so the reason why I want to cover this, and let's get into the Destiny topic. This has the potential to be one of the most insane YouTuber related legal arcs out there. Particularly, and this is where we're going to end with this, because I want to start with Destiny, but I want to get to the other stuff, particularly if he starts getting other people involved. There's obviously, in case you didn't know, Destiny's already threatened to expose 20 other streamers. So because of his own allegations, because of the charges against him, he has said he is threatened to out other streamers. So if it goes down this arc of bringing in other large streamers, and we can guess who those would be. Obviously, there's many streamers in which he is accused of being involved with romantically, sexually, however else, right? Whether it's from Lauren Southern, to all sorts of other people, his ex-wife. We've got even people like Fuentes getting in here. I mean, imagine how crazy this trial would be if you've got that cast of characters. And imagine if he has some shit on Hassan. Imagine how big this could be. We don't know who the 20 are, but imagine that they're large streamers or large name streamers. This could be absolutely insane. This could take over the internet, right? This could be massive. And of course, all of those people would have recourse to sue him either for defamation and or once again as well, if they had nudes or if they had something else, revenge pornography, non-consensual disclosure of images. There's all sorts of stuff, and we'll get into some of the statutes today, particularly the Florida statutes. This could be insane. This could be huge. This could be massive. But I think a lot of people are consumed by the personal vendettas and grudges. Oh, I like this person, they don't like Destiny, or I don't like Destiny's take on X, or Destiny is a cuck, or Destiny is this, versus focusing on the law and what's legal and what's material and what's not. And my standard in the post Amber Heard era is to properly investigate any crime that's been reported. So if you've gone out and you've reported it to police, you've not just created a Google Doc, and those that are in the VTuber community, you know exactly what I'm talking about, VTuber community. How many people create Google Docs making wild accusations of multiple crimes, but they never report it to any criminal jurisdiction? They never go anywhere with it. It's just a Google Doc that they throw out there, making totally baseless, or whether they're based or baseless, it doesn't matter because they haven't filed a police report. There's no action taken on that. It's just something that's thrown out on social media. And for me, that's something that you could take it or leave it as to its credibility. It could be something that's just meant to slander somebody, because anybody can write a anonymous Google Doc. There's no barrier to entry for that. But when you filed a police report, you go down the road of Juicy Smooth, Jussie Smollett. And now I know that now eventually he's been there. I think he was he's out now. Juicy is out. But the point is, you can be punished for lying to law enforcement, for misleading law enforcement, for making false statements, for perjury. These are things you can actually be held accountable for. So once you've put something pen to paper, you put it into law enforcement, you've actually submitted something, you've got chips on the table. So at that point, your story is worth being heard. That doesn't mean that it's going to be completely true. as we saw in Amber Heard, obviously Amber Heard's versus Johnny Depp, obviously her story wasn't completely true. And by the way, I don't think Johnny was 100% honest either. I'm sure there's certain things that he maybe left out of his story, but in terms of the balance of truthfulness, the jury, as did most of the viewers and ourselves and lawyers as well, felt that Johnny's truthfulness outweighed by far Amber Heard's truthfulness, or rather her deceit, her clear deceit. So in this case, we're going to go through kind of what we have. I probably won't be able to make too many judgments other than the transmission of the images, which is, let's be clear, not like defamation in its he said, she said. It's kind of a black and white thing with the transmission of images. If the image was transmitted, it is under a legal standard, black or white. It happened or it didn't happen. And in this case, as we'll see, and we'll read this going forward, it seems that that's not even contested, that Destiny does not even contest the transmission of the videos, images, whatever, the media without consent. Legally, it doesn't matter whether it's a video or an image. It's legally irrelevant. So if that's uncontested, well, then he's kind of already fucked, at least under Florida law. He's kind of already fucked if that happened. It's kind of a black and white thing. So yeah. Let's get in here. I'm looking at the chat right here. Yeah, he admitted it in Discord. Yeah. Let's see here. People in the chat says Google Doc plus no police report likely fabricated. I tend to believe that more often than not. If you do not, or if you are not willing to file any police report in any jurisdiction, which is absolutely free, I tend to believe it's more likely fabricated, or at least not entirely true. You are embellishing on a part of the story. And when I saw this, I actually saw it before the police report. So I didn't create this stream until it was confirmed that a police report was filed. Once I knew a police report was filed, I said, okay, I'll cover the story. Now we can talk about this. It's as an episode rather than just a segment or a mention or something else during a longer stream. Irham Amin said, suffer, Tiny, suffer. Another win from Mr. Jamari. Thank you, Irham. Einhander says, for 5, could threatening to out people be considered a type of blackmail? Yes, it could. Yes, there's potential action on that as well. Particularly if he's asking them to not testify or to speak in his favor. Absolutely. If that's the demand there, if that's the implication, or rather even the direct demand, or if he's messaged or DM'd these people threatening them saying, hey, hey, Fuentes, if you out our love fest, then I'm going to, throw you under the bus, or whatever it is, whoever engaged in all that stuff with him, whether male, female, or anywhere in between, it would be blackmail, right? It would be blackmail. So yeah, absolutely. Why would you audio record somebody? Yeah. There's a lot of, look, I'm not here to answer your moral questions as to why somebody would do this. At this point in my legal career, we've covered crazy scenarios. I mean, whether it was back in the Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp, where she claimed to be raped by a broken glass bottle, but yet have absolutely no wounds, indicating that she received any sort of severe attack of that case, to cuckolding relationships with lawyers where there's goose swapping and wives and hedonism in Jamaica and all that sort of stuff. We've covered crazy stuff on this channel. So at this point, my sensitivity has been really dropped. We have the suitcase murder trial, right, with Sarah Boone, right? We're going to have the Courtney Clenny case sometime in this millennia, right? There's been crazy cases. So my sensitivity has dropped to a lot of these things. Has really dropped. So anyways, I probably saw this and got this information from a lot of the same sources you guys did, which is this tweet by Pixie, aka Supreme Goddess here at Pixie Love on X. And this was on January 20th. So she says, on November 29th, the streamer Destiny non-consensually shared my nudes, making me victim of revenge porn. I will be suing him in federal court. Here's my story. So we're going to read through her story. I'm going to read those facts. And once again, I probably would not have done this if it wasn't for her suing and actually going through with that and filing the police reports and everything required with that. But this is a very serious allegation. And once again, if this was done, that's kind of the end of the story. If it was non-consensual and it's kind of an open and shut case as to the non-consensuality of it, it's kind of done, right? The case is going to be very simple as to those factors. But there may be other stuff involved in this as well. So that was the initial tweet. Let's get into it right here. So here's her statement on her Substack, and I'll blow this up real quick so you guys can read it because it's in like size 2 font. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to try to focus on what is legally relevant versus what is not legally relevant. Because there are things that are more legally relevant versus others. Okay, so I will be suing Stephen Kenneth Bunnell this second. First of all, I'm not worried about doxing Destiny. His name's been out there for a while. I don't even think he tries to hide it. And obviously the legal documents are going to have his name in there. So, there's his docs, Stephen. I'm going to call him Destiny because that's what most people know him by. That's what the algorithm picks up on. But, if you guys want to call him Stevie, that's fine. I mean, I guess I'll put a poll in the chat. Okay, what name do you prefer? So Destiny, Steven. We'll go with Stevie. And then I'll put another option in the chat, which, you can fill in the asterisk, okay? You guys can fill in the asterisk. That's for you guys to decide. Whichever name you prefer, right? Up to you. So, yeah, up to you guys. Anyways, my dignity, peace of mind, hopes for future, and we're stripped away, and hopes for the future. We're stripped away in mere matter of seconds following the betrayal of someone I previously trusted. I am at least the third person he has done this to. So this is very interesting. So for me, I want to see, when she claims this, I want to see 2 other people come forward. I believe I have heard that there are others that may come forward, and maybe I need to, search out those others and see if I can fish those out, that it will come over to join the lawsuit. Not just to say online that they were also a victim, right? Because obviously there's plenty of people that are willing to say online, oh yeah, I was a victim too. Are you willing to file a police report? Are you willing to join the lawsuit? And if you're lying, you open yourself up to him countersuing you for defamation. So if you are willing to do that, then I'm willing to believe you. If you're just going to say on Discord or somewhere else or on X or wherever, Blue Sky, if you're in your hug box, if you're just going to say there that you're a victim, that's not enough for me. You need to join the lawsuit. And there should be no reason you are unwilling to do that, particularly if they can just join the same case, right? So, yeah. So there's 2, right? So Cherry filed the police report. Pixie is suing. Yeah, there you go. But what I want to see is I want to see all 3. So what I'm trying to say is everybody who is going to join in, and there may be more than 3, because the point is at least. So let's say this is 12 people. I want to see all 12 people come out, and that may very well be the case, right? I hope to be the last. I will not be commenting on the experience of the other women he has hurt, as it's not my place or story to tell. I will, however, share my story in the hopes of preventing this from occurring again. I have known Destiny for around 5 to 6 years now, and I often find myself heavy disagreement with him. So, okay. So, just to preface this, a lot of this is legally irrelevant. So, whether or not somebody was dating you for 1 month or dating you for 6 years, if you non-consensually shared a photo, that could still be a problem. Now, after 6 years, there could be something about your relationship that led them to assume that was okay. For example, I talked about this in the case of Nick Rekieta. Nick Rekieta and his wife may or may not have been into voyeurism. right? Which is a common thing in the swinging community circles that they were running in. So, for example, if you're into voyeurism, that may negate your argument that you had a problem with others taking pictures of you and sharing them, or if you had some sort of sexual humiliation fetish and you liked somebody sharing photos, there's proof of this, and you can substantiate that. There might be some sort of mitigation of that. But absent some sort of factor like that, it wouldn't matter whether you had a one-night stand and you shared a photo of a girl that you shouldn't have shared, or whether you had a long relationship and you shared a photo you shouldn't have shared. That can be a problem, and that can be potentially illegal, right? Also, what's up, Kurt? I see you in the chat. Senpai notices you. I love you, Kurt. It says, I wonder when the cops will ask Destiny to come to the station for a few clarifying questions. Yeah, it's going to happen. I mean, inevitably, it's going to happen. And yes, Destiny, to be clear, he did have a kind of open relationship. It was kind of I guess it was just a kind of open relationship where he could see men and women and his wife could see men and women, I guess. And then that obviously didn't work. There are a lot of things he had with that relationship. And I think the issues were, this was a sort of completely open scenario where they could see other people romantically, not just sexually, but romantically. Those things never really work long term. They always will cause a problem. So definitely when I heard him doing that, I'm like, this is never going to work. And of course, it's blowing up in the most spectacular way ever. And it turns out that despite having this supposedly open concept, was not exactly open and transparent. You would think somebody who has an idea of open sexuality, right, is somebody who's very transparent, who's very upfront, who's very honest. But if you're at the same time non-consensually sharing photos, well, then you're obviously not engaging this in a very honest way, right? So let's continue here with these allegations. Oh, and I'll get these two here. Leprechaun Gold, thank you for the 20. Appreciate that. Thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Big support. And thank you for everybody who supports me. Also, Solon for 50 Argentina. Shout out to Malay. Says, can't wait for the Dex Cest Pestiny to go to trial. I think he's trying to say Sex Pest Destiny to go to trial and get to discovery. We will know if Fuentes whispered to Steven, this is MAGA country. Oh, that would be great. That would be great. I mean, between two feds, it would be great. What's up, everybody? And what's up, No Name saying, what's up? My favorite lawyer's on. Good to hear that. Okay, let's continue here. So she knew him for 5 to 6 years. She was in heavy disagreement. Despite this, I do my best to see the best sides of all people, trying my hardest to spread positivity and create understanding where I can. It's corny, but I want to meet people where they are, focus on which ways we can build bridges together towards a bright, better future for everyone. Some people call this a fault of mine. They say I'm naive and should be more careful. Those people are right. None of this is legally relevant except for perhaps the length of the relationship. So all this is kind of legally irrelevant. Now, whether or not you care about it personally is up to you, or morally is up to you, but legally, this really doesn't matter to me. When I was 19, okay, so let's put it this way, 19, not underage, not illegal. This is, you're talking about sexual stuff, you immediately want to look at the age. Is it 18? Or if depending on your jurisdiction, I know there's certain jurisdictions where it's 16, whatever. But in this case, I just look, okay, 19. All right, we're not dealing with it because if it was an age issue and they were photos of an underage person, well, then he really would have to worry about other more severe and strict punishments, as well as certain registries and being placed on those registries. I was extremely sexually inexperienced and sheltered. Being severely terrified of leading someone on or SA, I thought I could trust Destiny on multiple long conversations with consent and boundaries. So this is only material insofar as they had conversations. So, and these would need to be substantiated. But if those conversations did not include Destiny specifically saying, hey, when you send me a photo, I have permission to share that, right? Unless there was some sort of consent to share photos, some sort of open permission to share photos, then that would be a problem, right? So you can imagine my surprise when I discovered he distributed pornographic content to me without my consent. Super legally relevant, this part. distributed pornographic, so nude, whether it's them having sex or just her, whether it's solo, whatever, BG, whatever category, without the consent. That's the elements right there of the many of the crimes. And also civil action, by the way. You read that right. Stephen Kenneth Bunnell sent pornographic content of me to a random 19-year-old e-girl Discord kitten. I have never, okay. Before this week, I never heard the word Discord kitten. Is that supposed to be a cute thing, or is that just like is it just kitten because I don't get it. I'm the boomer here who doesn't get Discord kitten. I don't get it, kids. E-harem, okay. I would understand e-harem. It's a creepy thing, okay. It's a creepy thing. I didn't hear about this. Is the first time I even heard this term. I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? It's just a girl that's on Discord. Is every girl on Discord a Discord kitten, or is it just, yeah. That's, anyways, okay. People are saying it's a bad thing, but is it a bad thing on her part or a bad part? I don't know. Just the term itself. I don't know when I would apply that to somebody. E-pussy? But what does that mean? Are all OnlyFans girls kittens then? I don't get it. I don't get it, kids. You know, I'm going to play the Alex Jones clip right now because I got to play it right now.
Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
When it comes to the Gen Z slang, you know, I think that's a Gen Z thing. I'm going to blame it on Gen Z here. Harem is an anime reference. I get harem. I know harem. Real quick here, let me read some of these super chats. The Logical Male, I like logic, says, as much as I despise Destiny of who he is, if he displays any nudes or video as a form of being vindictive with the intent to hurt, picture, humiliate, that's revenge porn. Yeah, that's a clear Logical Male. That's the clear statutory criteria. That's, I mean, and sometimes the intent isn't even really needed, just the sharing of it, right, without consent. So the intent can often aggregate it, but in many states, it's not even required. And for certain statutes, it's not required. So we're going to go through different statutes today. And there's some statutes where the intent is kind of really irrelevant. So you don't have to prove his intent. The problem with a lot of crimes is having to prove intent. But if you don't have to prove intent, the crime becomes much easier. So here we go. He had never met me before, so they didn't meet. And then she published it to the girl had never met. So sorry. Sent pornographic content of me to a random 19-year-old e-girl Discord kitten he had never met before. Then she published it to the whole world. Rest assured, despite never having met her, he at least spoke to her plenty of times on the phone. Of course, this is what he says happened. I think it is just as likely he used her as a proxy to widely distribute this material while claiming deniability. Either way, it wouldn't matter because it was distributed. I do not understand why Destiny would willingly and knowingly put me in a position where I would receive nonstop sexual abuse and harassment. If we believe him, he was trying to impress a barely legal teenager using my body and privacy. Now, I get it, but I mean, you were the same age. Like, to be honest, and this is not legal at all, but it's a 19-year-old girl and you started dating when you're 19. So like, it's the exact same situation. And by the way, you're fully legal at 19. There's no issue with 19 in the United States. So yeah, I guess you want to use that term, that's fine, but you're an adult. So I think adults need to take responsibility as adults. The betrayal, coupled with hundreds of messages I've received filled with sexual harassment and abuse, have left me feeling hopeless and devoid of all happiness. Now, this is strong language. Now, this is one where she needs to be careful, because where you get into defamatory grounds is when you start throwing around crimes. And sexual harassment and sexual abuse are criminal activities. So if she's accusing Destiny of this, she needs to be damn sure that those text messages actually involve that in a strict sense, not in a, oh, well, you know, this was sort of coercive, or this was in a vague way. Like, oh, this is harassing because he's begging me for sex or something like that. Might be annoying, might be immoral, might be disgusting, might be unethical, but you need to be very careful when you throw out these words. And I think a lot of streamers, a lot of people on the internet, I've said this once, I'll say it again, they're not very careful with the words they use, and they throw out these legal terms as if they mean a feeling, but that's not what they mean. So I hope that she has backup to this, because this could be a point where Destiny can countersue if she, in this statement, which is attributed to her, if she made a misstatement here regarding that. And once again, I'm trying to be fair to both sides, not both sides, but just be fair in terms of calling it where I see it in this statement. Okay. The only thing that's kept me going is the hope that I can bring this man to justice and have him face legal consequences for his actions. I agree with that. If someone did something wrong, they should face legal consequences. That's very, very true. For the past month, I have been speaking to lawyers about my situation and what to do, and I've decided that this is the best course. That's awesome. Great. I'll be suing him for violation of U.S. Federal Code 15 USC 18, 15 USC 6851. And let me just pull that up real quick, right? So you guys see it, USC 6851. I had it pulled up the other day. I think I don't know why I took it down. But 15 USC, let's pull that up real quick here. So that is, and that's a federal charge, and that is related to a civil action for disclosure of intimate images, right? So this is, anybody who you're going out there and depicting who is in a, let's say you're in a pornographic, in an intimate sense, that's going to be there. So anything that involves the genitals, pubic area, nipples, bodily fluids, all that sort of stuff, any sort of graphic depiction there, that's going to fall under that. And particularly is going to open up this civil action, right? If you've had an individual whose intimate visual depiction is disclosed in or affecting interstate commerce. Once again, this is the way that the federal government regulates everything in the world. They say it's all interstate commerce. Everything is interstate commerce. Think the Wicker case, right? So yeah, I'm screwing up that case. The interstate commerce case. Oh God, my mind is popping on that case right now. But there's a particular case involving farming where an individual growing their own crops was judged to be interstate commerce because it affected the broader interstate commerce, right? Yeah, Wicker versus Filburn. Yes, thank you. That case. Because of that, the federal government gets everything through interstate commerce. So I just want to say that's why they put that language in there. So the federal government gets jurisdiction, not the state government. Because mind you, most things should be handled at the state level, not the federal level. Anyways, if it's something that's done in interstate commerce, which just read this as almost anything you do, if you're fucking breathing, the federal government thinks you're affecting interstate commerce. So that standard, the bar here is low. So an individual whose intimate visual depiction is disclosed anytime without the consent of the individual, where such disclosure was made by a person who knows that or recklessly disregards whether the person has not consented to such disclosure, may bring a civil action. So this is it does require a level of consent, but it is not a high bar. Reckless disregard for them not consenting, if it's not clear, it's going to be a reckless disregard there. It's going to be a reckless disregard. So this is not a huge standard, a huge bar to get over for a right of action in federal court. Once again, that's just the main claim. She can also bring the subsequent Florida claims, which I'm going to go over today, which would fall underneath that federal civil claim. So you could also have criminal charges as well that are brought, which I think would make this very interesting. So they go on to say right here that I have been told that a court case like this, sorry. And she will be filing a civil action relating to disclosure of intimate images and publication of private facts in Florida. So once again, Florida lawyer here. We're going to talk about that law as well. I'll be seeking emotional and punitive damages for his actions. I've been told that a court case like this could potentially cost tens of thousands. Actually, it could cost, that's actually an underestimate. It could cost $100,000 easily. Against an individual like Destiny, who has money and who's going to pay for a lawyer, it's going to be a very, very expensive trial. By the way, 67% of you like the final option on the poll, but most people prefer Destiny, right? If you don't want the comical fourth option, which apparently most of you like to call him, most people like to call him Destiny, so I'll call him Destiny. So Destiny, yeah, this could be a $100,000 lawsuit easily, $200,000 if he really fought it for a long time, appealed it, etc. It could take a long time. I am terrified. I mean, this guy talks about potentially suing Hassan as if for fun, and Hassan actually has the resources to defend himself. I would love that. Please, please, please. Also, please go ahead and sue the Kiwi Farms as well. Josh Moon, throughout the challenge, he's like, please, fucker, bring it on. I read on his farms post, over on the fruit farms, the humble Kiwi Farms. Josh Moon is like, he said it perfectly. He's like, please sue us. Just like Russell Greer and all the other people who try to unsuccessfully sue the farms, they'll not only fail, but we, the law tubers of the world, like the legal barrister vultures diving from the sky, will feast upon your e-corpse. Oh, and it will be so delicious. We will love the carcass. We will feed on that carrion, that digital carrion. It will be so sweet. Definitely sue each other. I mean, Hassan, Destiny, do it. Other streamers coming in, do it. And I'm just going to sit back like Watanabe and Godzilla and say, let them fight. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. So yes, please do all sue each other. It will be glorious. Glorious. I cannot imagine what he would try to do to me. Sometimes I wonder if, and by the way, once you've actually come out here and filed a case, somebody can't really do that much against you anymore, because you've already put yourself in a position where if they do anything, they now have other things that can be brought against them. If they start, attacking you or trying to blackmail you or personally come after you, you can add on criminal charges. There can be contempt of court. There's all sorts of things that can come into play if a party to a lawsuit is attacked in some sort of way by the opposing party. So I wouldn't be afraid so much as just you need to understand you're going to need that money for this. If you're going to come after somebody like this, yes, you do need money. In a civil case, yeah. Criminal, you can let law enforcement handle it. But in a civil case, yes, you do need money. You do need money. Sometimes I wonder if he does this as an intimidation tactic. I wonder if he's purposely trying to put fear into my heart when he casually talks about throwing money into a lawsuit with a multimillionaire. It's not about her. I think she's personalizing this. It's a general tactic, which is effective. If you know somebody's very wealthy and can sue you, you don't want to fuck with them, really, because you know that if they've got the money to burn, you don't want to have them burn that money. Now, a lot of people are bluffing. A lot of people do not have the spare funds or the time to do that. And if they end up engaging in a lawsuit, that will extremely impact what they do, particularly for a streamer like Destiny, who can no longer stream. If you're out there getting stuck in depositions, getting stuck with court dates, getting stuck with everything else, you're not going to be able to stream. And not only that, but it's going to hurt your streaming reputation. You're going to have trolls. You're going to have people in your chat. You're going to have haters. You're going to have a lot of stuff going on. You're probably going to get taken off certain platforms at certain points. You're going to lose advertisers. There's going to be a lot of stuff that is going to happen with you and hurt him. So that money that he has, he will quickly lose. And what you'll find is a lot of people, particularly influencers and people on the internet, they get used to living a lifestyle. Maybe they're living a lifestyle of cocaine and Minnesota hookers, right? You get used to spending a certain amount of money because you're making millions. But then when you're not making that money anymore, it's a problem because you no longer have that source of funds, right? So if you're a streamer who's used to making $10,000, $20,000 a month, and you no longer get that, that's a big deal, right? So as if it's an indirect flaunt or warning over its capability of outspending me in whatever legal case they're in him. At the request of my friends, I have been encouraged to get my link to a Give, Send, Go regarding the case in hopes we can raise enough for me to legally succeed. Whoever the next Joe Rogan of the left is, oh God, I hate that fucking title. It's as if Joe Rogan is on the right. Joe Rogan is not on the right. He's Joe Rogan. He just does his own thing. He has many left beliefs. This is a very annoying title to me. It cannot be someone that crosses sexual boundaries, violates consent, and puts women's well-being and safety at risk. It cannot be someone who puts women in positions where they have been sexually abused and harassed. It concerns me that Destiny has been interviewing potential DNC chair candidates like Marianne Wilson and Martin O'Malley, who have no idea what he's done. As time passes, he's trying to position himself to have interviews with increasingly powerful figures such as Zelensky. Well, at least for now, until that war is over shortly. I can't help but be filled with fear that Destiny might continue to succeed despite facing no repercussions for his actions. If the Democratic Party wishes to succeed in the future, it cannot be a party that accepts sexual exploitation of women. It cannot be a party that allows men like Destiny to break into the mainstream. For allowing him to access such spaces would be direct endorsement of behavior. None of this is legally relevant. This is all an appeal to essentially cancel him from the left. So for me, I read this dispassionately, really not caring, because this is all just an attempt to cancel him from the people that support him, which generally are left oriented. That's just a factual statement. Destiny supporters are on the left, not on the right. I think that's pretty clear. Although he's been on some, right leaning or right-ish podcasts, that's more to debate than to agree with their positions. I have been told that the payout might not have been worth the harassment and attention I would receive. In an ideal world, I would do this privately, but I've been told there's no realistic way a court will grant me anonymity. This means my only option is public. I've been told by a variety of people to not go public. I've been told by some people that Steven really does feel sorry, but I am not inclined to believe them, especially taking into consideration his actions regarding me. Regardless, what Destiny did is unacceptable, and I believe he will do it again unless he faces justice. Let me be clear. He violated federal law. This is all I care about. This is the part that I mean, look, there's moral parts to the rest of this, right, etc. But legally, this is the most relevant. He violated federal law in his transgressions against me. Yes, he violated my consent. It appears so. Now, we'll have to see the evidence, right, which she says she has here, and is directly responsible for the sexual abuse I have received. This is the part that's dangerous for her. Saying that she received sexual abuse, she's going to need to substantiate what she means by that, because this is very confusing. Does this apply that he physically sexually abused you, or are you trying to say that people, after they saw your nudes, called you names or reached out to you and said nasty things or harassed you? Is that it? So it says, I'm terrified. And then an evidence log, Destiny apologizing to me for his actions. Note I had to contact him asking about the situation before he sent me the message. Destiny downplaying the pain I felt and concerns. That's not really there. And Destiny offering to pay some bills, I guess, to try to make me feel better. I'm sorry, is a water bill being paid going to make me feel okay about a lifetime of trauma I received? So this isn't really the full evidence. We're going to need to see more here to substantiate the claim, particularly their nature of their relationship. And I mean, obviously they've got to submit the actual content that was distributed has got to be submitted to the court. Now we're not going to get to see that. So meaning, like, in a case involving sexual things, the nudes don't suddenly become public, right? So it's not like it's not like, lawyers are flipping through looking at nudes during one of these revenge porn cases, right? It's not like in the case of, Aaron Amolti and Kayla Ricada and Nick Ricada, we go through and we see Kayla Ricada's nudes. It's not how that works, right? However, there does need to be some substantiation. Let's get to the comments here. Then we're going to get to some of the law related to this. Okay. Got 12 comments. Damn. Okay, nice. I'll just get the little quick ones first. Leprechaun Gold, thank you for another $4 super sticker. Thank you. Also, Pseudosnark said Wicker versus Fillmore. You had it. Yeah, I know. I just, my brain tonight. I'm still recovering, a little bit sick, so I'm trying to get over it. Thank you guys for being kind. 2,000 of you in the chat. Please smash the like button. We only have right now, 474 likes. Let's get to 1,000 likes. 50%. Can you give me 50? 50, just 50. Just 50. That's all I want. King Lugia gifting 5 Legal Mindset memberships. Yes. Thank you. And Leprechaun Gold, another 10 super sticker. Hagfather Raisin, thank you. I do love the hags. Discord kittens trade attention for material gifts. Oh, really? Is that the expression? Okay, well, I guess I know now if that's it. All right. Marriage causes divorce. Okay. I mean, I guess if there was no marriage, there'd be no divorce. That's the 400 IQ right there, right? If there was no marriage, there'd be no divorce. That's true. It's technically true. For £5, says Destiny is short and a 1 out of 10 like Harvey Weinstein. Can these 304s sue Destiny for regret and Destiny using his power and status to take advantage? Okay, a lot packed into the super chat. I don't know how tall is Destiny? Let's look this up. I don't know if he's necessarily, is he that short? I've never seen him in person. He's 1.73. He's not that short. I mean, he's taller than Lawrence Southern or Melina, his ex. He's a little shorter than Vaush, but I mean, he's not okay. I guess he is short actually. Yeah, he's short. He's a midget. I mean, I'm almost, we're almost rocking up 200 here. We're like 198 over here. So yeah, it's kind of short. 5'8". Yeah. Okay. Legal Mindset is my Discord kitten. I will trade my attention for a material gift. Das for 20 says, yo, legal bro, can we start calling this Giga Cuck Dick's Tiny instead of Destiny? I haven't seen his dick. So just full disclosure, I haven't seen or heard any of the videos. I know they exist, perhaps on a Humble Fruit Farms. And by the way, the whole lawsuit against the farms is related to the fact that they hosted a lot of these files. They refused to take them down. And one thing I think, if you can say one good thing about the farms is that they do come through very well when it comes to these legal cases and court cases because they've got the evidence and they tend to track the whole thing. So, Josh is there on that. He stands on the ability of keeping that information out there for the, public's consumption. So that was why I believe Destiny threatened to sue them. Also, I think it was at one point that site was almost taken down at one point because of the traffic over the Destiny leaks, because they had such high traffic for the Destiny leaks that the site went down. So that's where that came from. But I have not seen any of that. So I don't know his dick size. If you guys tell me it's tiny, it's tiny. I mean, I believe you. I also haven't seen Ralph's or Razor Fists, but I'll believe all of you guys, right? You guys can watch for me. You take that bullet for me. Thank you. But continues, what is up with law tubers' weird fascination with Coke when they get successful? Love from some Kanukastani. Hope my Monopoly goes through. Yes, I got your 20 Monopoly dollars. Well, look, Coke is I'll be honest with you, because I grew up in Miami and I know very much how this works. Coke is a rich people drug. And when you hang out in certain circles, and even look, when I'm a lawyer in Florida, okay? A lot of people I knew did Coke. I was at a wedding. I tell this all the time. It's a wedding of a lawyer friend of mine from South Florida. All the girls went to the bathroom. When they came out, they suddenly had a bunch more energy. Some of them were rubbing their nose, right? We all know what happens, right? You travel in certain circles, and like with anything else, when everyone starts doing something, you do it too. It's like cigarettes, Most people start smoking because everyone else is smoking. They go outside to smoke, and you don't want to stay inside like a dork. You want to go outside and be outside with everybody else. And they're all standing and smoking. So you say, okay, well, I'm going to smoke too. These are how these things happen, right? And of course, they are addictive in and of themselves, but these how the initial situation happens. So that's how they get into it. They start hanging with people, and the people they perceive as cool and the people they want to be are doing the drug. So they end up doing the drug. And that's how drug addictions generally happen, right? It's just what happens. And lawyers, it happens a lot. Of course, lawyers, I think, are transitioning a little bit more into like Adderall and Ritalin and other like sort of dependencies, especially the younger generation of lawyers. I tell a fun story about how in my law school forum, I'm not kidding, University of Florida, sorry, University of Florida, I'm outing you. In our public forum, someone used all of their prescription to Adderall. They literally popped it all for finals. And they were publicly posting that someone should give them some more because they're like, oh, can anyone lend me some more? Because I used it all, right? This is law school. I mean, sometimes lawyers were very smart, but we're also very fucking stupid, right? And this is what I don't exempt myself from this. I can be an idiot sometimes too, right? Very smart, but very stupid. Very stupid. Yeah, it is a heart attack. Mavia said, isn't sharing nudes sexual abuse? There's a difference between the legal term and a colloquial term or the common term. What most people would understand, is it sexually abusive? Yes, but in terms of a crime that might be the crime of sexual abuse, right, might not line up perfectly. Now, this depends state to state. There's different names for different crimes, but the crime itself might line up with those elements, particularly if it's something that is more of a it's more of a general reference. Also, that was an and. So it was, he shared the images and then that led to sexual abuse. So it wasn't that the act itself was the sexual abuse. It was something that happened after or something separate from. So that's why I'm pointing that out. Once again, that's a very careful anal lawyer read of it, but that's what they pay us to do, is to be super stickler and read things and come up with possibilities for the countersuits. So I'm not trying to be unfair here. I'm trying to say, hey, this is a thing that maybe in the future when this person is speaking should be very careful about when they use that term, because you might want to say abusive or whatever. Maybe that's better, right? Because it's just a more broad term of abuse. But it's something that I would just say be a little bit careful on. That's all. It might be true though, in which case, yeah. Let's see. Nene Escobar for $9.99 says, I had a dream the other night where I met you on the street, but I was too scared to ask for a pic with you because I thought it'd be too short a picture. Oh, hold on.
No. Wait.
That's too funny. No, it's fine. I take pictures with people that are I live in Asia. You know how many people take photos with me that are not even up to my nipple? I mean, it's staggering. The numbers are staggering. Okay. I have photos with people that are like almost at my hip. I mean, that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's not close. Like belly button level has definitely almost happened at some point. I mean, yeah, I can do a sorority squat for you. Don't worry. Grandmaster Pie for $5 said the whole revenge porn thing was popularized by a guy named Hunter Ellis on a website. I actually went to elementary school with them. Really? Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. King Luger for 6 Malaysian ringgit says, chat, would gifting you MBR make you my YouTube kittens? Yeah, the memberships, yes. My chat is really a YouTube kitten grooming area. You can get your fur fluffed with a free BLM membership, which just makes you more based, really. Did you know that geckos are bald? Thank you, Slug Entertainment, for $1.99. Thank you for that totally relevant super chat. Logical Mail, did Pixie consented to be pictured or video by being nude with Destiny? If so, then Kim Kardashian has a case against Ray J 20 years ago. No. So simply by being nude is not enough to give consent. So let's say you have a hidden camera, right? You're not consenting to being recorded. That's a separate thing than being nude. People are going to get nude to have sex. It's acknowledged that people are having sex and these are things that are going to happen, but most people don't want to be filmed while having sex. It's one of the most intimate acts that's out there, personal acts that's out there, that exists between human beings, right? Is having sex. So yeah, it's a reasonable expectation of privacy, King in there, that you would not want to be filmed and have that publicly distributed. So yes, just being nude alone is not consent enough. And it's specific consent because you might be okay being nude in one context, but not another. Let me give an example. You might be okay being painted nude for art, and that might be okay. You might consent to that because it's an artistic context. You might be okay doing a nude photo shoot because you want to do that. But having sex, it adds a different element to it. So even if you had consent for one type of nudity, the other type might not be there. For example, an OnlyFans girl. Just because she does OnlyFans doesn't mean she's okay with someone freely distributing her photos. However, if there was some sort of other evidence of her behavior or patterns or the relationship between you where she was okay with general distribution of information and she liked that, that might be relevant. So for example, if you were a voyeur and you enjoyed people taking photos of you openly and you had proof that you were an open voyeur, that could be legally relevant, right? I don't think in this case this person was of those proclivities. I don't have enough information about them. I'm just saying these are the factors I would think about here if I was trying to argue both sides. Solon for 50 Argentina says, since the fourth option in the poll was a no-go, how about Snowball and Steven? Check Urban Dictionary for snowball. I know what snowball means. Okay, I mean, I'm not born yesterday, but all I'm going to say to that is
Disgusting.
I'm here for the scuff. Said my grandfather had 10K worth of coke from when it became illegal for being a doctor. That's awesome. Well, I mean, it used to be legal, right? Coca-Cola used to have cocaine in it. They still import the leaf. They say they purify it, but how pure is it? How pure is it? But yeah, no, it used to be very widely used in the United States. Einhanda for 5 says maybe she was quoting Destiny with the Joe Rogan of the left comment since it was in quotes. I don't know. Was that a Destiny quote? Did he call himself the Joe Rogan of the left? If he did, that's very cringe. Sorry, guys, my voice is killing me here. And that's why I did a little bit of a delay because again, I'm getting a little dry here because of the air, and I think I'm a little sick, so it combines both. Excuse me. Charlie Spur says, don't bring Vosh into this, not after what he did to my horse girl. What after he did to all horse girls and really all people who had to see that folder in his hard drive. Einhander says, like Rick James famously said, cocaine is a hell of a drug. That's right. Pirate Skeleton for 5 says, as much as I would like to see his downfall, I'm not taking any accusations seriously unless they take legal action. Well, they have allegedly, right? So that's what we're going to get to right here. Let's just pull this up, Pirate Skeleton, so you see why I took this seriously. When I saw this tweet, so police report has been filed on Destiny by alleged victim Cherry, is that you pronounce that? So when I saw that, and then when I saw as well this post over here, which I don't know whether this is accurate or not, but Destiny is being sued for revenge porn by multiple women for filming and sharing without permission, according to second public victim Cherry. So apparently multiple people are suing, I guess are pressing charges, criminal charges. So you've got criminal charges, you've got a civil case, so you've got both a civil and a criminal action. So when I saw that, I started to believe it more. So that's when I came into this thinking, okay, I'm going to cover this because now it's relevant, and especially since these things allegedly took place in Florida or would be litigated in Florida or brought in Florida. Florida lawyer here, want to cover this, very relevant. And of course, I've covered a lot of these type of scenarios. So that's when I decided to cover it. DOS for Canadian 5 to talk about drugs. Adderall was a power drug for a lot of engineering majors. Yes, it's illegal in Japan. It's illegal in Japan. I believe there was a video, I may show this in the future, where Ice Poseidon talks about losing his Adderall. And it's really funny because he probably didn't even know that Adderall is illegal in Japan. Most people don't. They just inadvertently bring it to Japan because they don't know it's illegal, but it's a regulated drug. If you got caught with it, you could go to jail or get deported. They probably would just take it, though, to be honest, because they know that it's so common and people just don't know. But yeah, can't bring Adderall to Japan. King Lugia, legal mindset kitten plushie win. 200K subs. Thank you, King Lugia. Not gonna go for 5. Thank you. Afro Rizal says, I can't believe Destiny is not a woman's name. I know. It's a stripper name. Okay, let's get to the Florida crime. So there's a couple here that I want to talk about. We're going to do it in no particular order, but I just want to go over a few that he could be brought up against in Florida. There are several, and they could both criminal and civil. So we'll start with this one, which is Section 784. 049 of the Florida statutes. This is you guys can find this on Online Sunshine. This is our repository. I love Florida because we are the most transparent state. The reason for all the Florida man stories is because we have all of our criminal records open to the media. We send them out there immediately. They're very transparent, including mugshots. So you have all of that. Oh yeah, it's true. I do have legal in the onset. I forgot about the kitten stuff. But anyways, with this particular statute 784.049, once again, this is an overall caveat too. I'm not sure which criminal charges the police will ultimately bring. Therefore, I'm going to talk about several available in the state of Florida. They may bring one, they may bring multiple, who knows? So we're going to talk about all of them so we have an overall legal view here. That's why I kind of called this the full legal breakdown, because it may go beyond what is potential criminally. Of course, he's innocent until proven guilty under the criminal standard and needs to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt if it's criminal. If it is civil, you've got a preponderance of the evidence. So essentially, the jury thinks that, hey, she's more right than he is about this, and go on that side. So the standard lower for civil, criminal higher, right? So he is innocent until proven guilty. However, with the evidence or these allegations, I won't say evidence, the allegations we have, if they have the receipts that he sent these out and distributed them to the girl who then distributed them out to the wider world, that's really all you need to mostly prove most of these these criminal offenses. So sexual cyber harassment. So the legislature finds that a person depicted in a sexually explicit image taken with a person's consent may retain a reasonable expectation that the image will remain private despite sharing it with another person, such as an intimate partner. This is revenge porn. So this is saying that even if you give permission in Florida for someone to take your nude, you need to give separate permission to share it publicly. So it's not enough under this statute just to have a nude taken that would give permission for you to share it. No, you have to both have a nude taken and have explicit permission to share that. Those two separate consents, right? Consent to take the photo in the first place, that's one, and then consent to distribute it. That's two. So that is a pretty high level of consent. It's becoming common practice for persons to publish a sexually explicit image of another to internet websites or to disseminate such image through electronic means without the depicted person's consent. This is Discord, right? So the laws written by boomers, so they had internet websites. Well, electronic means, okay, Discord, right? Because you're saying, well, Discord's not a website. Well, no, it's an electronic means. So they got you on that one. Contrary to the depicted person's reasonable expectation of privacy for no legitimate purpose, with the intent of causing substantial emotional distress to the depicted person. This is exactly what they're alleging, right? When such images are published on internet websites, they should just say electronically, but okay. The images are able to be viewed indefinitely by people worldwide and are able to be easily reproduced and shared. The publication or dissemination of such images throughout the use of internet websites or electronic means creates a permanent record of their private nudity and private sexual explicit conduct. The existence of such images on internet websites or the dissemination of such images without the consent of all parties depicted in the images causes those depicted in the images significant psychological harm. Safeguarding the psychological well-being and privacy interests of persons depicted in images is compelling. As used in such section, the term image is not limited to photography, picture, motion picture, film, video, or representation. So it's includes, but is not limited to. So it's any of these things. Any representation. So all that stuff. AI even could potentially fall under that, I believe. But that might be a different, you might actually, let me see, would this apply to AI? It could. That's interesting. Would a deep fake apply here? I think it would. A sexually explicit image of another. It depends whether the court would interpret another as an AI image or as an AI image. Is an AI image of you another? That's interesting. I would love to see whether this has been applied to deepfakes yet. I think you can make a compelling argument it does. And I think the court, being a bunch of boomers, wouldn't even understand what AI is. So they would just look at the picture and say, this looks the same and it applies. But I'm just reading the wording. The wording, it could be tighter for AI. Of course, these are things that we're going to improve in the law as we go down the line, right? Korea, obviously, as I've covered in the Johnny Somali case, has specific laws about AI deepfakes and deepfake nudes, specifically pertaining to deepfakes. I think that's where the law will go in the United States as well, in many jurisdictions, specifically honing in on deepfakes and the problem with deepfakes, right? So, yeah, an addendum is definitely going to happen at this point. So sexually cyber harass means to publish to an internet website or disseminate through electronic means to another person a sexually explicit image that conveys the personal identification information of the depicted person without their consent. Okay. And that means their name, address, phone number, social security number, date, or unique physical representation. So you're going to be able to identify that it's them. So there you go. I think there's a pretty good case here. So let's see. A person who willfully and maliciously sexually cyber harasses another person commits a misdemeanor of the first degree. So this is where the intent comes in. If it is malicious, it's first degree, which is punishable by, let's see how much time. Probably a good amount of time. Misdemeanor, first degree. Let's just search this. First degree. Okay, here we go. A definite term of imprisonment not exceeding 1 year. There you go. There you go. Let me back this out. Get back to where we got to go. Cool. All right. Someone asked, what about an audio recording? Now, an audio recording is interesting. But I think, let's see, image includes photograph, picture, motion picture, film, video, or representation. It could be under representation, but that's a really good question. Now, there is another statute that clearly covers audio. We'll talk about that. But this one, I think that it might not fall under this. Good point about audio, because we know that there's a significant one about the audio that was leaked. Anyways. Let's see here. A person who has a prior conviction gets a felony of a third degree. Well, there you go. And let's see. Nothing else here super relevant. You can also have a civil action for injunctive relief, monetary damages up to $10,000 of the actual damages incurred, attorney's fees, and criminal and civil penalties. So she can recover attorney's fees here, which is really good. Really good if they're able to get attorney's fees. So cool. So that's one particular one. That's 784.049. Next, we've got digital voyeurism. But before that, let's get the super chat. Shiro Kitsune says, since you mentioned OnlyFans, have you seen Rev's video? No, I have not. So maybe I'll catch up on that, but haven't seen it. So I've been focused on this and just chilling. So no, I have not. Thank you for mentioning it, though. What's up, MG Law? Good to see you in the chat. And good to see all the members in the chat. Shout out to all of the people who stopped by. Also, Uncivil in the chat. Appreciate you. And all the members out there who support and hit that like button. Appreciate you guys. All right. Let's continue here. 810.145 says broadcast. This is digital voyeurism. So this is a separate crime under Florida law. Broadcast means electronically transmitting a visual image or visual recording. Uh-oh. So while under the last one, we were questioning whether or not it would apply to audio, this 100% applies to audio. So if this is audio of you getting a certain sloppy toppy, I think that's a legal term. If this is the heavy breathing of a active Fuentes, that would be enough to qualify under digital voyeurism, right? Digital voyeurism. Family or household members, the same member meaning as in another statute, probably means a colloquial meaning, so somebody in your family or somebody who's living with you. Imaging device means mechanical, digital, electronic viewing, still camera, camcorder, motion picture, or any instrument, equipment, or format capable of recording, storing visual images of another person. I know. Did I disturb you guys? Did I disturb you guys? Eagle will clip that. Don't worry. Eagle will clip that. Also, Patrick Todd for 99 says, Wickard, hot take, Wickard is worse than Dred Scott or Roe, because while those were bad in specific areas, Wickard led the feds in all parts of your life. I 100% agree, and that's not a hot take at all. That actually is like a 400 IQ take. People have no idea how bad Wickard versus Fillmore ended up for just the expansion of federal power, and how the federal government was able to insert its tendrils, its poisonous tendrils, into every piece of our society that the original founders would have never intended. They never would have intended such an overreach of federal government into what was supposed to be largely sovereign states, our republic, right? Our republic. The keyword is republic, right? People, there's a real power to the republic, right? Big thing. Terrible court decision. If it was overturned, I'd be happy, but the feds would have a breakdown. I mean, I'm just glad we got Chevron overturned. I'm like, I'll take little victories. I'm like, we got Chevron. Like I was like, hallelujah, praise Jesus, we got Chevron. Small victories. I'm not asking for much. I'm not asking for miracles. Chevron was good. I was happy about Chevron. The gallons must flow. Yes. Let's continue before I go into like legal cope or legal hope. There's position of trust and authority. So this is a position occupied by a person 18 years or older who's a caregiver, coach, or employer. So obviously this is going to be an aggravating factor. Privately exposing the body means exposing a sexual organ. Reasonable expectation of poverty means circumstances under which a reasonable person would believe that he or she could fully disrobe in privacy without being concerned the person's undressing was being viewed, recorded, or broadcast by another, whether it's the interior of a residential dwelling, bedroom, changing room, fitting room, dressing room, retaining booth. A person commits the offense of digital voyeurism if, for their own amusement, entertainment, sexual arousal, gratification, or profit, or for the purpose of degrading, exploiting, or abusing another person, intentionally uses or installs an imaging device to secretly view, broadcast, or record a person without that person's knowledge and consent, who is dressing, undressing, or privately exposing the body at a place and time when the person has a reasonable expectation of privacy. For their amusement, entertainment, sexual arousal, gratification, or profit, if you intentionally permit the use or installation of an imaging device to secretly view, broadcast, or record a person without their knowledge of consent, who's dressing, undressing, or exposing the body to a place where they have a reasonable expectation of privacy. So whether you're intentionally using it or installing it, or whether you're permitting its use, still bad. Still bad. Next, if you are intentionally using an image device to secretly view, broadcast, or record under or through the clothing worn by another person without the person's knowledge. So guys, all of those X-ray glasses, I know you horny boys out there that bought those like see through the girls' clothes glasses, the little X-ray glasses, go to horny jail for digital voyeurism in Florida. Can't walk around with disrobing tech. Can't walk around with that. Now, if you are under 19 years of age and you violate the subsection, it's a misdemeanor. If you're 19 years of age or older, it's a felony of a third degree. if you intentionally disseminate or distribute or transfer the image, can be a felony of the third degree. And now this is not commercial because he didn't sell it, but we're talking about the potential if he was doing any of this without permission. Now, it sounds like he may have had permission to record, which would not be digital voyeurism. However, we have allegations this happened to multiple women. Did all of those women know they were recorded? How about the men? Allegedly, there were also men that he invited over on the gay dating app Grindr. I shouldn't say gay. The male seeking male, because you could be bisexual, I guess, which Destiny was, I guess. I have doubts, but that said, that aside, not here to debate Destiny's sexuality. It's known, he's put out there that he would use Grindr to source men, and I believe that not all, from what I remember, and I'll have to go back and confirm this, I believe allegedly not all those may have known they're being recorded. So if any of those were not knowledgeable of that, they could file this, or if this information out, they could file digital voyeurism in Florida, right? If they're recorded, right? That's a big no-no. It's a big no-no. So whether it applies to the woman is up there, but one way or another. Think you could explain who Wickard was? I'd have to go back and we're going to do, you guys love Wickard versus, we'll do a Wickard stream. Look, on my member stream, we'll talk about Wickard. I will go fucking hard in the paint on Wickard. If you attend my BLM only stream, you're my BLM level. That's the highest level. We're going to talk about Wickard. Okay. I know you guys have a hard on for Wickard, but please keep it contained. Unlike Destiny. Okay, so that's another one there. So that's another one down. Now we've got two more. And this one has a criminal side and a civil side. But under both of these, totally fucked. This statute predates revenge porn and predates digital voyeurism. It's kind of the old school, kind of like the wiretapping style statute, which if you guys know anything about federal crimes and wiretapping, they can get everybody for wire fraud, right? Sorry, wire fraud, right? Which is essentially just transmitting something fraudulent electronically in any means, right? So this is a very similar statute here in Florida. Interception and disclosure of a wire, oral, or electronic communication. It sounds weird, and just understand this sounds fucking weird, but this is completely relevant to this. So anybody who intentionally intercepts or endeavors to intercept or procures, there it is, any other person to accept or endeavor to accept any wire, oral, electronic communication. Anybody who intentionally uses or endeavors to use or procures any other person to use or endeavor to use any electronic, mechanical, or other device to intercept an oral communication. And then it goes into the methods there. Or who intentionally endeavors to disclose to any other person the contents, here it is, the contents of any wire, oral, or electronic communication, knowing or have reason to know that the information was obtained through interception of the wire, oral, electronic communication is in violation of the subsection. And going on, intentionally endeavoring to use the contents of any wire, electronic communication, knowing or having reason to know the information was obtained through the interception, or the last one is through knowing it's part of a criminal investigation. So this could apply here insofar as he is transmitting information out that he should not be transmitting. And of course, there are criminal penalties for this, as well as under separate statute over here, 934.10, they can nail you for civil remedies, right? For any person whose wire, oral, or electronic communications intercepted, disclosed, or used. So essentially, if you sent something digitally and it's used, because digital is electronic and it's used, in violation of other statutes, you can have a civil cause of action. And you can recover damages, preliminary injunctive relief, punitive damages, attorney's fees, good faith reliance, court orders, subpoenas. You can have a criminal investigation, right? You can have a federal investigation. So there's all sorts of remedies for this. So point of the matter is there's multiple avenues under Florida law and federal law for them to go after Destiny. So Destiny is really, if these allegations are even a shade true, if they are, let me be very clear, he's still innocent until proven guilty. But if they are true, he's very fucked, extremely fucked under Florida law. Iverson Eiffel said, don't let this Destiny case distract you from the fact that Pecora bought a based legal.
Fighting monkey とかさ。
I never let the people forget, Iverson. I never let the people forget. Okay, so that's the criminal side. Let's talk a little bit about the civil side, because I find this the fun part. In addition to, obviously, I've talked about the civil suit. You know, if he's trying to civilly sue the farms, that's not going to go well. It hasn't go well for anybody, whether it was Greer or anybody else trying to sue the farms. But that aside, the big thing I want to bring in is the streamers, because I think this is where things get bloody and things get messy real quick. So Destiny allegedly threatens to expose 20 streamers following sex offender registry accusations. So yeah, here's the actual post. Let me see if we can pull this up real quick. Yeah, this is the actual post. Let me pull up the actual tweet, or the Discord, the tweet, which includes the Discord. So right here, this is by JSTLK. This is, I can't believe I'm being accused of being malicious with other people's pornographic images, video, and audio. If I go down for it, I will retaliate by exposing the sexual endeavors of my fellow streamers. Destiny, bro, if I need to go on the sex offender list, I'm taking like 20 other streamers with me. Okay, lol. It ain't no lol when you're on the fucking sex offender list. Like, you're not going to be able to enter most countries. You're going to be living in the woods. I mean, it's not fucking fun and game. It's not LOL over that. But I really want to know who the other 20 streamers are. I'm not going to lie. And I wonder whether this is hyperbole, whether this is true. But based on everything we've heard, and also the fact that we know that Destiny's history has taken him with encounters of various people, right? Not just Melina, but like I said, we've got Lauren Southern, who was the information about Lauren Southern and Destiny came out, right? Of course, very controversial because she paints herself as a right-leaning person, right? Versus, you know, who's just shacking up with the Joe Rogan of the left. But you know, and everybody else and Fuentes, whoever else is getting involved with him. I want to know what the names are. I want to know who it is. Who's going on the list? Who is it? Who do you know? Is it Hassan? Are you going to try to take Hassan down? Because that'll be a fun legal battle. Destiny versus Hassan. I would love to see that. I would cover that. I would go to that court case. I would be there. I'd be there eating popcorn. I mean, I wouldn't be able to actually eat in the court because I don't want to disrespect the court, especially my Florida courts. But I'd be enjoying every second of that. Every second of that. That'd be great. That's the real one that I want to know, you know, with this case. I really want to know who the 20 are. I really want to know who the other 20 are. Because this is the big question for me. Now, why I say that is because what I see coming from this is a massive lawsuit. So if you guys don't know, like, for example, Cardi B won $4 million from a YouTube defamation case. That's really fucking peanuts in the world of like Hollywood and business. But honestly, from a regular person, from a regular YouTuber, that's a massive amount of money for somebody to have to pay out $4 million. Right. So this would be huge. Imagine Hassan wins 3 million from Destiny or 2 million from Destiny or whatever else, because they'd be in a pitched battle back and forth. If Destiny named Hassan. That could be a massive defamation battle, and that could be years of fighting, right? That could take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could take several years, and there could be back and forth. There could be appeals. It could be crazy. It's a Pandora's box, some of which may be credible, some of which maybe not. But you've got a threat here, and the point is that Destiny is not going to get off the hook now because the police are investigating this. So even if the people, let's say the girls dropped their case, even if he successfully blackmailed them, they've given the information to police, and police have enough, if they just look, to at least have to investigate this. So I don't think he gets off the hook here. And from what I understand, according to this article, this is, I think, as of the other day. Let me pull up this article again. Twitch streamer Pixie has raised $27,000. That's more than enough to file. I think Ron Coleman says his like average retainer was like, I think it was like 15 or 20,000 or something like that. But 25 is enough to start for sure. Absolutely to start with filing a case. So that definitely would work. And you understand, once the case is going, there's going to be enough people that really don't like Destiny that they're going to contribute to that once it's going, right? People just want to see that it's actually going to be a lawsuit. What's in the box? Yeah. Up to 30K now. Yeah. That's even crazier. You do not need, some of the chats are you need millions. You do not need millions for a lawsuit. 100 or 200K for this lawsuit is probably enough to get it where it needs to go eventually, right? And they can get there. How are you going to lose a defamation against Cardi? Because they said things about Cardi that weren't true. They called her a criminal, and she wasn't a convicted criminal, which, once again, you have to be very careful. They also said this was incorrect information. They said Cardi B had an STD, and that's not true. That's false. You cannot accuse somebody of having an STD if they do not. That is per se defamation. That's classic defamation. It's exactly how you lose against Cardi B. So millionaires against millionaires, defamation is quite possible. That's why most defamation cases you see are amongst millionaires. They're amongst very wealthy people. They're against very big people fighting amongst each other. So I am going to continue to cover this. I do hope we get actual documents. I do hope we get I have people DMing me saying, I've seen the videos and Andrew, it's tiny. And I'm like, thank you for watching that video for me. I didn't need to know that. I saw people, they're like, oh no, I'll send you the link to the videos. I'll send you the link to the Destiny videos.
No. Wait.
Yeah. Got to be careful. Especially once again, accusing someone of having an STD when they don't, or you have knowledge that they don't, right? Or you have no knowledge, right? When you sue and the jury hears you are crowdfunding, it won't look good. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that it could, if it's this type of situation and it's a person that's a small versus a larger one, I don't think they necessarily in the modern world would think it's a bad thing. If you profited off of that, sure. If you made like $500,000, maybe they wouldn't think of it that way, but lawyers cost money. They're not free. And $27,000, $30,000 is not that much for a lawsuit. It's actually nothing, but just the retainer, like in Korea, some of the lawyers' retainers were $5K minimum. So it's like, you're not going to get legal coverage for like $100 or $200. It's not going to happen. You might get somebody to draft a contract for you for that price, but not more than that. Yeah, I'm also in Asia, so yes, I'm very careful with the links I open. Very, very careful. Very thoughtful. Someone asked in my locals, if you have prescription for Adderall, can you bring it to Japan? Nope, it's controlled. It's controlled. So that's a big one. A lot of people have a problem with that. And that's why you got to be, a lot of tourists don't know that. Yeah. Yeah, jury isn't stupid. They know lawyers are expensive. Exactly. Exactly. All right, guys. Well, that's what I have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this. We got over 2,000 people watching, which is awesome for today. Thank you for the big support. 22 new members, big likes on this, 789. If you could smash like, try to get to 1,000 likes after this. I will be back tomorrow with some more Somali coverage. We're going to be some cabbage warriors tomorrow. But until then, guys, take care. It's great to see you all there. Thanks. And meanwhile, I'll leave you. Well, let's leave you with a little something different here. Let's leave you with a little something positive, right? Since we've been so negative, we got to get a little bit of hope in the world. We'll do this.